That's the nature boy.
Yeah, well, no, who cares? Yeah, but it just I don't believe in that whole two-time Hall of Fame. You're the same guy. I don't care if you're Ric Flair or you're part of the Four Horsemen. You're still the same guy. You could just induct the other guys from the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, but you need to. If you inducted just the rest of them without Flair, it's not the same.
I mean, Flair would have been there. Flair should have been the one to induct them.
Nah, I mean, I don't have an issue, with them being played. If the NWO goes in and Hogan, Hall, and Nash, I mean,
right. So that means each of them are going to be in there twice. So what are you going to do? Bret Hart individually, Bret Hart Foundation. I mean, there's going to be there's a bunch of them that are like that. That is Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels going to go in as Shawn Michaels, and then with Triple H as DX. I mean,
no, because I don't know about that because the DX with him wasn't as relevant as the DX with the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, and I hate to say X-Pac because I don't think he deserves ever to go in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he might go in twice if they do the NWO and DX.
No, first of all, the NWO would be the three guys. You're else going to put in fucking Scott Norton and
Virgil.
Michael, he going to Virgil.
Vincent, Virgil Vincent.
Bagwell. Come on.
And Brutus Beefcake.
But you know what? Not for nothing. Beefcake deserves to go in the Hall of Fame as a baller.
I think Beefcake rode Hogan's coattails his entire career.
Fine, but the guy was a major star in WWF. You can't say he wasn't.
He was. But after that, he was just, the Apostle and...
right, I agree after that, but look at some of these guys that are in the Hall of Fame.
Coco Beware.
But you know what? He wasn't a bad... I think the Honky Tonk Man should have been the one in the Hall of Fame and not Coco. I don't know why the fuck the Honky Tonk Man
I don't understand. He's still the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't get that either. Coco Beware never held a title.
He held a bird.
And I think he held a bird going next year.
JT said he held a bird.
Yeah, he did.
So how come Frankie's not in the Hall of Fame?
Frankie's dead.
Thanks. There's a lot of guys that died that went into the Hall of Fame. It's like they wait for him to die. It's like, come on.
You never know.
That was something like that. The Hall of Fame this year, the induction was so long. I was like,
yeah, it gets long.
I mean,
that's why I go down to these WrestleMania things. I enjoy the Hall of Fame. I could give a fuck about WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, it's WrestleMania is because of social media. Wrestling in general has just become so predictable, and the leaks. And I mean, I remember watching Monday Night Raw, and that's how you found out who went into the Hall of Fame. There was no, TMZ reported earlier, Fox Sports reported earlier.
I agree.
ESPN reported earlier. So who the hell is ESPN to... Why, because Jonathan Coachman works there, so now they're going to be all up on wrestling because it's the pop culture thing to do? Come on. I'm tired of the social... It's like anytime I don't watch Raw, I literally just do not go on Facebook the entire night until I go home and I watch Raw. Because I that's all that people talk about. It's like, what's going to happen? What happened? You want to make predictions, fine, but when people are telling you exactly how the match is going to go and then you watch it and it exactly happens that way, that's sickening.
I can't tell you the last time I watched Raw or SmackDown for that matter.
I watched SmackDown. SmackDown I find it very entertaining. I think they give push to guys that never would have got a push on Raw. I don't know why, but, if Jinder Mahal was on Raw, I don't think they'd ever would have given him a push to the title.
What do you think about him winning the belt?
I think it's great. I think it's good. Look, and I hate when people say you deserve it. I hate that line. It's so cliche and played out. The guy doesn't deserve it. The guy earned it. The guy came up. They basically turned him into a clown. We had nothing to do with him, and then they put him in 3MB, which was funny, but they were a jobber. It was terrible. He lost to everybody. And then, basically his career went nowhere. They released him. He went back to the Indies, busted his ass.
Wrestling twice.
Yeah, and busted his ass. Like, working hard. Committed himself, a whole commitment to the business. Got picked back up, jobbed for a little while at the beginning, and then boom, they gave him the push, and he ran with it. And you know what? He earned that right.
I think for the first time in a while, we got two guys in wrestling that actually look like fucking champions, like heavyweights. And I like, I love Lesnar. I love the way he just destroys people. And Jinder Mahal, I don't know how he's passing a fucking wellness test.
Well, they just did an interview with him, and he said he's been drug tested left and right. And
yeah, right.
I don't look. I got you until he fails a test. You just everybody. There's always gonna be skepticism with wrestling because of the past with McMahon and steroids, but these guys are supposed to be tested the same way Olympic athletes are. Higher standards, and people do fail well as possible. So how will other people fail? But they can't pick and choose who fails. And Randy Orton's failed a couple of times, so they can't say, well, if you're a big name, you never fail. Randy Orton's failed.
So is Booker T. So is Roman Reigns, right?
Roman Reigns, yep. So
the one thing I like about Mahal, when it's somebody different, I'm so sick of Cena, Orton, and Reigns and Triple H and the same fucking. I like the fact that this is a guy out of left field that won it, and you see that these jerk-offs that fucking live in mommy's basement complaining about it.
They want change. They bitch and cry. I want change. We need change. I'm tired of watching the same shit. Then you get it, and then you complain. Oh, this is terrible. How are you going to give the title to Jinder Mahal? Are you effing kidding me? Blah blah blah. You wanted change. You got change. I'm sorry, it's not the change you wanted. What change do you want? Who
do they want?
They want AJ Styles to be the champion. They want Kevin Owens to be the champion. They want somebody that represents independent wrestling to be the champion. And I turned around and I said, Jinder Mahal resurrected his career in the Indies.
First of all, the reason they... I don't know how anybody could, from a business standpoint alone, the thing with now they're trying to branch out into India. This is their, now you got a guy from their heritage,
Yep.
and he's Canadian.
Well, the first time I ever met him,
I honestly think that I was shocked, and I thought it was a fantastic move putting him as champion.
I do too.
All around business, entertainment wise, the guy could go in the ring. The guy looked incredible.
And does Randy Orton, a 13-time champion, does he really need the title run? He doesn't.
No, like I said, I'm tired of it. I thought him beating Wyatt was a bad idea.
I agree. I think Bray Wyatt should have been given a title run, and I think now he's gone from the picture of the title picture because
I think his ship has sailed,
and that's sad because I
agree, but I think nobody cares now.
Well, he's still the fans still love him even though he's a heel. Fans still love him, and then you got some of the fans that think that he's trying to be too much like the Undertaker. I don't agree with that.
I don't think so.
I think his gimmick is great. I think
his gimmick is more Waylon Mercy than the Undertaker.
I think they're waiting for the whole Broken Hardy thing to happen and him take on Bray Wyatt.
Good for them.
I think that's what everybody's waiting for. Because, I mean, you go to these live events, they yelling, delete, delete, delete. Come on. You're supposed to be die-hard WWE fans, and you're yelling TNA gimmicks at matches. Like,
I don't know how much longer TNA's going to be around.
Yeah. It's only time. WWE's probably going to wind up either buying them or purchasing their library, which was a rumor that was supposed to happen months ago. And then, they'll probably make WWE, the TNA, like their minor leagues.
But why? They have NXT.
Well, NXT's more of that. You bring these young guys in, you develop them, you make them.
That's their minor league.
Well, TNA, a lot of these guys are already established, so it's kind of like
TNA.
It's like, yeah, a lot of these guys are already established.
Who?
James Storm is established.
He even still there?
Yeah, he's still there. A lot of the women.
That's one guy. Bobby Lashley's two. Give me another one. EC3. Okay.
A lot of the women are established. That are still there.
That's debatable.
A lot of them left, but
they got rid of all their stars, and they wonder why their ratings have plummeted.
Well, they got rid of salary. They salary dumped. They basically pulled the Florida Marlins in 1992. That's what they did. They salary dumped.
1998.
Well, what was the first title? Oh, no, it's 97.
98.
Yeah, 98.
97, 98.
Yeah, that was bad. They got rid of everybody.
That's when the Mets got Dennis Cook.
Yeah.
What a pickup.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. Even though he always looked like someone stole his lunch when he was on the mound.
Joe, you're an old-time baseball fan. Remember that face that Willie McGee used to make?
Willie McGee always looked like he played baseball like he was in freaking pain. Like somebody was like somebody hit him in the balls with a hammer.
No, he always looked like he played baseball like he just smelled somebody taking a mean shit.
Yeah, he was just always looked so weird. Meanwhile, the guy can run like the wind. He can hit like anybody's business.
He was a leadoff guy for the Cardinals, right?
No. Coleman was.
But he played for the Cardinals.
Yes, yeah, he did. It was.
He was a number 2 hitter, though. He was at the top of the lineup.
It was Coleman, McGee.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Coleman.
Tommy Hurt, Jack Clark, or Pedro Guerrero, depending on what year it was, and then Willie McGee, Terry Pendleton, Tom Pagnazzi. Right after Zeal left, Tom Pagnazzi. Who was there? Oh, and Andy Van Slyke.
Andy Van Slyke. He played for the Pirates too.
Yep.
The Cardinals in the '80s was the team I hated before the Braves because
the Cardinals of the '80s were so. Oh, and they also had who was the infield? The Mets got him. Mets had him for he was oh shit.
Pitcher.
No, it was an infielder. He played middle infield, but it doesn't matter. But those guys, every one of them stole 30 bases or more. Coleman stealing 100.
And then they had that manager, the White Rat, Whitey Herzog.
Yeah. Always used to call in Howard Johnson's bat for inspection.
He's still alive?
Who, Whitey? I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
He died? Okay.
But I remember, that was like... Them and the Pirates, I hated through the whole 80s. Hated them.
Oh, I didn't care about the Pirates.
Well, the Pirates are the ones that... After the Cardinals kind of split up a lot of their team, the Pirates were kind of the nemesis of the Mets, keeping them out of first. Until...
No, Whitey Herzog's still alive.
Oh, he is still alive.
He's 85 years old.
Jesus. And then finally the Mets broke through in 85 and finally put a good team on the field.
Yeah, but I've lived through more miserable Mets seasons than positive ones.
Yeah, well.
Much more.
Like this year.
Much more.
Like this year. Oh, and they're playing the Pirates today. Look at that. What a coincidence. All right, let's talk about the women's show.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You don't happen to have the matches in front of you, do you?
Yeah, I do. Give me a second. I'll get them.
All right. You got a second.
Yeah.
We'll pull it up here on the old Book of Face.
Let's see here. All right, what do you want to start with?
We want to start by telling the fans, go to facebook.com/wow_women_wrestling and visit the Warriors of Wrestling Women's of
And
Warriors
like the page, too. Like the guys.
Like the page. Follow the page. You'll get all the updates of when the next events are, promos, photos, any radio show that contains Women of Warriors content, which would be this one, and of course the Warriors of Wrestling Q&A on Thursdays.
Hold on, Kevin. You can also stream the first Women of Warriors show at gumroad.com/Warriors of Wrestling.
Yes. Or come to Women of Warriors this 9th and purchase the DVD.
That is correct.
See, look at that. And you can have a lot of the women there that'll sign the DVD case for you. Because you have a lot of women that were there for the first show will be there for the second show. So don't miss out on that opportunity. They'll all be signing and meeting the fans prior to the show and, of course, during intermission. Make sure, folks, I plead with people all the time when it comes to independent wrestling. Not only the women, but the men as well. Independents rely on the sale of what we call gimmick. Their t-shirts, their autographs, the photos, stickers, buttons, whatever they have. This is what they use to be able to afford to travel, to purchase more merchandise, and to just continue their career and their goals in life in this industry. Okay, not all of them have primary jobs.